Hello, sweet friend. My name is Micah, and in this video, I thought we could journal together. Specifically, I want to draw and maybe watercolor in these two journals. So if you're in the mood for a cozy journaling session and to just be together, chat, be creative, take a time out to recharge and regroup, then this video is for you. And I want to thank minapomelo here on YouTube because she's been doing a lot of cozy journal with me videos and I've been really enjoying them, and so I thought I'd return the favor. And I think I'm going to start with this journal right here because I'm quite excited about this. If you've been around for the last couple videos, you know that I've been really enjoying this Hobonichi weeks for my daily log and journaling on a weekly basis. And so now I'm trying to figure out whether or not I want to have a journal as a companion to that notebook. And so in November, I've decided to try the B6 Slim. This is a light version, so it's just staple bound and has fewer pages. And these staples are actually not looking so great. I don't know what that's all about, but that's okay. And the spread I want to work on is this one right here. As you can probably tell on the camera, is I've already penciled in some things. And let me see, I think I want to clip this to help it stay open a little better. Yes. So this is a page about personal style. I've come across this 3-word method by stylist Allison Bornstein, which is really interesting. And if you've seen my recent journal flip through, you know that I had already created a spread in this passport tin about this same topic. But after I had finished the spread, I realized, oh, it would have been so cute to illustrate some of these points. And so, yeah, I'm going to give myself the opportunity to do so. And yeah, that's kind of fun. Usually I don't like to double up on information, but because I'm trying to figure out what notebook I want to keep going forward in, I think this is kind of a great exercise to see what is or isn't possible in different journal sizes. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, this is kind of fun. Okay, so let's pick a fountain pen. How about this one? I think I'm going to draw with my Kaweco. This is called the Frosted Mandarin, I believe. And this has a medium nib, and I've been really enjoying the thicker lines lately. And also the ink just flows out so smoothly. It's very satisfying. And for some reason, I've been really enjoying drawing with it without posting the cap. Like usually with these sports, you cap it like that to make it a regular sized pen. But something about this, first of all, makes me hold the fountain pen really loosely so I don't get too tight with my line work, which I quite enjoy. And then it also feels a little bit more like a stubby crayon, and something about that, it feels really comforting. I guess it's just a childhood association. I don't know. And then if you're curious, I have it inked with the Atramentis Document Ink. Yeah, this is the ink that I have in it, the Atramentis Document Ink Black. And I've found this to be a very reliable ink, very waterproof, and it doesn't clog up my fountain pens. And maybe I'll zoom you in so you can see better what I'm drawing. And just before I get into the drawings, I had made myself a little template. This is supposed to be me. As a little cartoon character in a very regular outfit, so like a knitted sweater and some jeans. And because I wanted to have myself 4 times on this page, I figured it would save me some time to just trace it. And so yeah, that's what I did. Of course, it's a good exercise to redraw things, but yeah, especially when it comes to working in my journals, sometimes time is a little bit short. So yay for shortcuts. And so I think I'm just gonna start drawing here, and I'm hoping that you can see well. I know it's a little gloomy outside. It just turned gloomy and rainy here this week, which feels very on point for November. And for some reason I like to do this hairline first, and then I move on to the eyes. There's these cute lashes that I like to make. Oh, and I think that's maybe a little too wobbly. It is quite interesting to draw while trying not to bump into the camera. And I commend Mina, that I've mentioned her video in the beginning, because she's doodling without any sketching beforehand on camera. That is quite something. So yeah, she did a really good job. And let's do the hair. Like that, maybe? Yeah, so sometimes, especially with sort of characters like this, humans, I do like to put in a pencil sketch beforehand. But it can be quite freeing to just go in with the pen right away. And you learn to be confident with your lines. And it's a very mindful exercise, because you have to really think about what you're going to draw, the next line you're going to draw, if you don't rely on pencil sketches. So this is sort of like a knitted jumper. So, and I tend to roll up my sleeves. I tend to not like my sleeves all the way down to my wrists, even though that's literally what I'm wearing right now. But yeah, so this 3-word method, she has you choose 3 adjectives to help you decide what you're looking for in an outfit. And the 3 adjectives, the first adjective is what she calls the practical adjective. So this is the things that you actually wear, things you actually pull out your closet again and again and again. And for me, that word is either comfortable or easy. I'm not quite sure yet where I land on that, but as someone who works from home and sits a lot and who doesn't like fussy clothing where you have to like constantly put it back in place, or there's a lot of like frills to it, I definitely think that the word comfortable or easy is very on point. So something like this knitted sweater is very much that, and then just paired with some basic jeans. However, I think we can upgrade the outfit based on these 3 words and still have it be comfortable and easy. So the second adjective that she has you pick out in this exercise is your aspirational adjective. And that is something that you would like to look like, or would like to portray, or how you would like to feel. Your dream style, in a way. And so for me, I think that is retro. So not really vintage, and I don't want it to look like I'm wearing, say, an outfit that literally comes from the 50s or 70s, even though I like when people do that. I like looking at that. I don't think I would find that very practical, personally. But just little hints of, silhouettes or accessories, I think that would be really nice. So for example, here, these earrings that I'm drawing, I figured, some acetate earrings, that would be kind of fun. And then here I put myself in these, they're almost like leggings, ponte pants, I think is what they're called. And then they have this little kick leg. I feel like that has a little bit of a 50s vibe to it. And mind you, I'm not a fashion expert. I don't know anything about fashion. I don't know if I'm associating the right decades with some of these styles and some of these silhouettes, but yeah, that to me sounds or feels retro, and I have a couple examples of that in the other little lady drawings as well. So yeah, what I wanted to show on this page is how you can take the same sweater and then bring in some of these retro elements and how it already looks more like an interesting outfit. And of course, that would be really fun to do with your own wardrobe. And even, oh wow, that eye is really loopy. Okay, well, it is what it is. Yeah, you could take pictures of your own wardrobe to try and do these things, but because I don't own these things, I figured I'd draw them. And then the third word that she has you choose is an emotional adjective. So this is how you want to feel, or the feeling that you want to invoke in others when they see you. And I felt like that was the most difficult one to pick for myself. And so I'm currently working with delightful or charming, which, yeah, I think that goes with the retro, especially when you look of or think of like the 70s and the 50s or 60s. I think there's quite a lot of charm and delight in that, just the colors and the, yeah, again, the silhouettes. And then I saw this really cool bracelet by this company called Cezanne. They actually do this kind of thing really well. The sort of like it's retro inspired or vintage inspired, but it still has these modern influences. It doesn't look necessarily like it came directly from the 70s. And so yeah, that is a bracelet that I saw. And yeah, so then these pants that have this cute little kick leg. And then she has a cool like vintage purse. Yeah, I made a whole Pinterest board of cute little things like purses and jewelry and pans. And in general, it's just an exploration of things I like. I mean, to be fair, because I work from home, I wouldn't even necessarily dress up more often all that much and change, say, my purse just to create a cute outfit. However, yeah, I've been just exploring a lot of things and trying to figure out certain influences in my illustrations as well. And so this is just another part of it. And so to me, this may or may not lead to any wardrobe changes, but it is just something that helps me understand myself and the things that I like. So yeah. How about you? Do you feel like your wardrobe and, say, for example, the stationery that you choose, are there similarities in that? Or do you think those things influence each other? Or the way you decorate your home? Let me know. I would be very curious about that, because I do think there might be some universal things that one likes, and so those things showing up in different aspects, I could see that very much happening. And it might be a way that you can, that you can explore so much of, at least in illustration, there is a lot of talk about personal style, right? People want to stand out with their illustrations. And I think part of developing a personal style is to know yourself and what you like and where your influences come from. So this is the same idea. So first I draw myself yeah, wearing a go-to outfit. This is again a knitted sweater that has this sort of like, yeah, I don't know how you call this neckline, this sort of like straight, more across the shoulders kind of thing, which I really enjoy, and it has shorter sleeves that I don't need to roll up. And then again, my go-to would be to pair it with a pair of jeans, but as you'll see in my second sketch, I think that would be very easy to bring some retro influences into that. So that's that. And then here we have the same sweater, but with some fabric pants that have a pattern to them, which I'll bring in with the watercolor, and then some, yeah, retro-inspired jewelry, I guess, and another retro-inspired handbag. Really cute, I think. I mean, this would be sort of, yeah, very much I want that. I want that to be my wardrobe. And it's going around the hair. I usually have like a, wow, I made that really squared up there. That's okay. Yeah, I have this sort of bob haircut, which I actually find a little bit difficult to draw sometimes, but I have also noticed that my hair has been getting a lot more floofy. I don't know why. And so I've started to really exaggerate just the floof, and I kind of like the curviness of it. I definitely like rounded designs. And it has a little bit of a, almost like a flower petal shape to it, which is kind of cute. But yeah, cartoon me definitely looks cuter than real me. Unless I make the eyes wonky, then maybe not. But that's okay. I have so many wonky drawings in my journals, and you know, in the moment you might feel like, ah, man, I wish I had drawn that a little bit better, but once you look back on it a couple of years from now, you're just happy that you drew, and you just like it for the memory, and yeah, then it doesn't matter anymore how wonky something is. I mean, this is a journal and not a portfolio piece for illustration, you know. And so, even the most crude drawings I really enjoy, and as I've mentioned before, I love stickers, and they're so fun, and it is so fun to use other people's illustrations in that way and bring in different influences and bring in different color palettes and patterns. And of course, stickers are so much faster potentially than drawing something yourself, especially if you're doing a daily journal. You know, not everybody can commit to a daily drawing, and so there's benefits to both. But I think if I had to, which luckily I don't have to decide, but if I had to, I would be fine with just drawing in my journals and looking back at certain spreads. Those tend to be the ones that I'm most fond of, the ones with the drawings. Oh, so this here, those are actually supposed to be Mary Janes. Like that. I think Mary Janes are so cute. The shoes. I'm not a big shoe person. I know that it tends to be this, I don't know if you want to call it a running gag, but the thing about women and buying shoes, I don't care much for shoes. Okay, zoom here back out. Yeah, so that's the drawings. And so I thought it would be really cute to give them some color with some watercolor. And I also left a little bit of a margin here because I wanted to do like a strip of painted washi tape. I've done a video about certain watercolor things you can do that are not representational. And so I've remembered that I like to do that. So I think that would be fun to put into, so we can, add some color to this page. Okay, here's my little watercolor tin. And then I think I'm gonna use my water brush instead of a real brush. I tend to sometimes use less water with these, which is good because then you can prevent excessive warping. And maybe we start off with putting in a ground color for this little washi strip type thing. So how about just, can you see the colors? Yes, you can. Let's just use what I already have on the palette. Why not? This is a beautiful golden color, just nice and warm. And we just lay this in. Well, okay, this might actually take a little bit longer with the water brush than with a real brush, but okay. Do you work with these water brushes even when you're at home, or do you have a separate setup with like a real brush, like a real artist with the real water? I guess the benefit of this is also that you don't have to hear my brush clank in a water receptacle. Okay, maybe I'll leave it at that for now and let that dry. See how that turns out. And then I already know that this sweater is a green color. It's just sort of like a muted green. So here I'm taking, I think this is like Hooker's green, which is a little too cool. So we can mix it with a warmer green. Just find the middle ground. That might be too saturated, and something that I've been really enjoying is using light browns to muddy up some of my colors. Yeah, that gets closer. I mean, it's not the actual color of the sweater, but close enough, I think. Yeah. The nice thing about watercolor in comparison to markers is, of course, that you can mix your own colors. And also, especially if you like working with line art, your lines are more visible. Sometimes I find the markers too dark, so even like a green color might just obscure the lines a little too much. So I love my tumble markers. They definitely have their place, but sometimes this is a little easier. Now for my hair, I used to be really, really blonde as a kid, and then once I got older, I would dye it really blonde. But recently, I've been leaning more into like a strawberry blonde, which is a little tricky, but maybe we start with some of this. I think this is an ochre brown. And then maybe we just put in a dash of red in some capacity. Maybe we go just a little bit of this. Because my hair's not orange. Maybe this is close enough, actually. Yeah, isn't that fascinating that our hair colors change? So I started to grow out my dyed hair and then noticed just how much of a red tint my hair had to it. And then I leaned into it with strawberry blonde henna. So it's not all the way natural, but it's definitely more natural than the platinum blonde that I was before. Just in terms of that my hair started leaning red anyway. Yeah, this is probably pretty close. I mean, it looks blondish. I don't know if it looks strawberry blonde. But yeah, blonde hair is interesting to draw because it obviously can turn out looking really yellow. But I think this is quite nice. I think my hair is overall a little darker, but again, just getting the gist of it. And of course, if you want to draw more in your journals, humans can be really intimidating because we are so used to seeing humans. So we tend to be really good at spotting mistakes and when things just seem off. But yeah, you could start with just drawing objects, you know, just draw your coffee mug in the morning, or yeah, your food. Although I personally actually find food really challenging. But yeah, just if you get new flowers, just draw the flower bouquet or draw what's currently on your desk. And I have found that sometimes I get so hung up to draw something from the day, but I even associate memories just from the drawing the thing in and of itself. So if I draw, say, my desk lamp and the books that I have on my desk, then I will think of today, of this moment that I sat down to draw it. Sometimes I have it when I draw the cats for my printables for Cat Collage Club. Sometimes when I color, especially when I color them, you know, if like the thinking part is over a little bit and it becomes a little bit more relaxing, I will watch something. And so certain drawings for the Cat Collage Club I associate with certain TV shows or movies that I had on in the background. It's kind of funny. Okay, this is really light there, the hair. So yeah, for me, drawing really captures the time of when I drew it. So yeah, there's easier things to start out with than humans. But as you can see here, I mean, humans can also just be shapes. You can simplify them a little bit and make them almost more abstract. That maybe helps to not feel so intimidated by them. Okay, so then this and this is supposed to be denim. So we need, well, there's some blue here. That's actually already pretty fitting. That's why I like not cleaning up my palette all too much. I mean, sometimes it gets so bonkers that you definitely have to clean it, but it can be helpful because then you already have some ready mixed colors to go. And I also like the look of colors not being too straightforward in terms of just coming right out of the pan. I like them a little bit dirtied up. And so if you have, in German we actually call this Palettendreck, so palette dirt, where you can use some of this leftover paint to muddy up the colors. Yeah, that's a really useful, funny term actually, Palettendreck. Okay, and then this sweater that I own is actually a mauve color. Love a good mauve. So how about we start with this very bright pink. So of course that is way too bright. And then we can turn this into a mauve. Well, let's try this lavender first to make it a little bit more purpley. Oh yeah, that is actually pretty close. And then again, some Palettendreck. Yeah. I mean, it's not quite the color of the sweater, but I like the color. So we're going for it. And I will know what it means when I look at it. So we use that for this one here. And then that's the same sweater, just with different pants that I don't own. Is fashion something you're very curious about? Is that something you follow? Do you like dressing yourself? Do you like playing around with outfits and different styles? Oh yeah, let me know. I'd be curious. Do you have a favorite accessory? I definitely like bags because I like the silhouette, how different silhouettes they can have. Coats, although I guess that's not really an accessory. I used to be really into earrings and had a big collection of earrings. I don't know. I think I've become more minimal in that regard. But also because a lot of times earrings really agitate my ears. I think I might be a little allergic there. Okay, and then this pant, I think I was thinking of that to be a black. So I could go back in with my fountain pen and actually make that black, but then it's gonna be so like solid in comparison to the watercolor coloring. So I think I'm just gonna mix. So a good way to get a blackish color is to take a dark brown or a dark red like this and mix it with a dark blue. And then this might be leaning a little too red there, so get some indigo in there. Yeah. All right. I think I'm good with that. I think so. Let's just go for it. Not overthink it too much. And then leave some space here for the bag. Well, I think that turned out so dark that you still can't quite see that middle line there. The dividing line between the legs. Oh well. That's okay. It almost looks like she has this really skinny skirt on now, but yeah. Okay, we'll let that dry before going in for the bag, I think. And then for this, I was actually thinking, yeah, also like a brown beige. And then with some pattern over top. Maybe a little darker than this. Like so, maybe. I think we can go a little bit more brown. Yeah. I am so grateful to Midori paper. It seems like I haven't tested my Hobonichis from this year yet, but it seems like some people have issues with the paper. And then, of course, Moleskine, there's all this back and forth. Has Moleskine, have they come out with better paper, yes or no? I think Seaweed Kisses has been doing quite a few videos on that, if you've seen that. And so it's just, Midori has been very consistent, I feel like, with their paper. So that's really nice. Okay, while these two dry, something we can go ahead and do, which is actually like a really fun part, is to give them a little bit of blush. And for blush, I actually do prefer using the Tombow markers because sometimes if you do it with watercolor, if you get the watercolor too wet, it dries in this rim and then it just looks really watery for some reason. So I prefer doing blush with Tombow. And I think this is the one that I like for, yeah, this is usually my go-to. This is the, I think that used to be a 772, if I'm not mistaken. That's really, that kind of bothers me about the Tombow markers, is how easily the writing comes off and then you don't know the numbers anymore. So here, the other thing I had was the 912, I think, which, yeah, that leans a little too orange for these. And then this is really bright. This is 873. It's neon, which can be fun too, but I think I'm gonna stick with something a little softer. And then just going in, and for some reason, even if you don't put in skin color, you just do the blush, it makes characters come alive and look so cute. I guess because we associate, you know, color in the cheeks with being alive, blood flowing. So yeah, there you go. You get some cheeks too, like that. Cuties. And then it can also be fun to do just a little bit of blush on the hands, like that. Again, to just make them seem alive. And then I think just with the cream color, it's already not so stark as when I would do this on white paper. Stark white paper. Okay, so now we have another purse right here. Oh, and I guess all the jewelry would need color too. Yes, okay, maybe I think this bracelet comes actually like in a darker mauvey red color, but it also comes in this honey color, so I think we're doing that. And then that would be pretty for the earrings too, but then it's gonna look like the hair. So we're gonna have to pick a different color. Maybe we do go with the pink. And then just make it like speckled looking. Well, I don't know how much. I mean, these drawings are so small and so stylized, certain aspects of it will be a little bit abstracted to begin with, but you sort of get the gist of it all, I suppose. And then let's just make the purse brown, like a leather, like light leather color. And maybe the flap can be a different color. I think I've seen that quite a bit. And then maybe do kind of like a mauve, but a little darker, like a burgundy red. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. Or should I have made that brown? Well, I can always go over it. I don't know how much I like the red with the green sweater. Yeah, maybe not. And then this was definitely gonna be a brown, darker brown. And that actually, I found an actual vintage purse that looked like that, and it had this sort of like snakeskin imprint on this part. But I don't know if I can pull that off in such a small drawing. Maybe I'll go over and add some lines with colored pencil. I could try that. And I know that this is gonna look very similar to the pant, but again, we're just gonna add some detailing to the pant to make that stand out, which, by the way, we can actually do again with a Tombow. Yeah, I think this one here, the 947, will be dark enough. It might. That is still a little wet. But I think we're okay. That's another great thing about Tombow, is that you can add details like this more easily to a drawing. And then I want it to be like a pattern like this. Yeah, cute. And then we do have all the jewelry. Do we also want to do that? And does she look a little Scottish now? Again, it almost looks like a skirt. Yeah, that can read as a gold color, right? A gold necklace. Yeah. All right. I think I'm gonna let this fully dry and then maybe go over some things with colored pencil and yeah, finish it off that way. And I guess we haven't really worked on our on our pattern here. And do I want to do some of the rest with Tombows as well? Let's see here. Just do a wobbly don't want this to be too straight. I want to have be kind of fun like that. Yeah, like that. I think that for one, I like a good wobble either way. I think wobble is fun. Wobble looks like a human made it. Charming and warm. But then also, if you can't make something straight, or if it's going to be hard to make it perfectly straight, it's better to lean into the fact that it's not going to be straight than to worry about making it straight, if you know what I mean. It's sort of, instead of having it be a glitch, you know, like, oh, it's not straight, that's a glitch. Make it a feature. Oh, look, it's so warm and wobbly and perfect looking. So, yeah. Yeah, drawing your own washi tape strips is a very fun way to play around with colors, play around with patterns in your journal, and get familiar with your watercolors, get familiar with what you can mix with your colors without feeling too pressured into drawing an object. Yeah, like that. Really cute. Do we need one more color? Maybe we need to put in that golden color right between the browns. Yeah. Cute. All right, I'll definitely show you once I've finished adding some details with colored pencils. Okay, I actually didn't do very much. I just added a few lines with colored pencil on this sweater right here to indicate that it is knitted and similar to this pink one, and that's it. Unfortunately, I was trying to go over some of the lines here and the paper was still pretty wet, and so the line got really bold and weird a little bit, but you know, it's okay. It's just a journal page. So yeah, and you know, you get the gist. And I had a lot of fun creating these outfits and trying to imagine how I would go from something that is a little bit more standard maybe to something that's, yeah, a little bit more interesting, I would say. I mean, you let me know if I'm onto something there or what, but yeah, if you want to give this a go, there's lots of different videos about this 3-word method, and so that's kind of fun if you're into that sort of subject. And I hope you had a wonderful time journaling with me. I know we didn't actually end up working in this journal, but maybe we can do that sometime else. If this kind of content is something that you enjoy, yeah, let me know. I can definitely create more of these and we can draw and paint together and journal together. Quite fun. So yeah, that's that. I hope you're doing okay. Take time for yourself, you know, that is important. Like they always say in the airplane, you put your own oxygen mask on first so that you can help others afterwards. So yeah, don't feel bad if you take time for yourself to regroup and recharge your batteries. And so I'm very grateful that you did that with me today. I definitely feel better now. And so yeah, until next time, happy journaling.